how shiny my necklace is. That is like, hopefully that's not too distracting. I'm not going to stop and refilm the whole thing. No, we're just going to go with it. Hey beautiful people, my name is Kristen. Thank you for taking some time stopping by my channel. I have a book tag today. I was tagged by the awesome Gina Stanier Books, and this is the Reading Habits book tag, and I hope it'll be quick and sweet and hopefully interesting. It says, do you have a certain place at home for reading? I have 3 places I read at home. I read on the couch or the couch chairs. My husband would argue with me that they're not couches because it's 2 separate chairs that are oversized. But they're one of those. Or I love to read on the back porch. Or sometimes I will read in my reading chair, which is where I film. But the lighting isn't actually the best in that chair. So the reading chair in the place that I did, I need better lighting. So it is what it is. Bookmark or random piece of paper. I love my bookmarks. I have a stash of them. When I have books I want to read, I usually put a different bookmark in every single book for the month. I am a planner, so I do that. But if for some reason that bookmark has fallen out or gone astray or whatever, I am totally not opposed to grabbing whatever is around and making that my bookmark. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? I have goals. I love to read to the end of a chapter, and then it's based on how far I want to read. So I want to read a book in, say, 3 days. I will break it up and say I need to get to this chapter, then this chapter, then this chapter. But if I have extra time and energy and want to read farther, I do. If I don't, I will stop. If the phone rings or I need to go away, I throw the bookmark in, and it doesn't bother me to stop in that random place. But in my mind, I have a goal, and then I evaluate the goal when I get there. I'm just goal driven. It's how I am. Can I be spontaneous? Yes, but sometimes I even plan to be spontaneous. It's just in my nature. It works for me. There it is. Do you eat or drink while reading? I don't eat. I definitely don't eat. I'm too distracted by having food or whatnot, and I don't want that on my books, but I do drink. Touching the cups or the glasses or whatever, water, tea, coffee are the standards, but sometimes wine, sometimes hot cocoa or something random. I like to have a drink when I'm reading. Multitasking, movie or TV while reading. The only time I'm going to have a movie or TV while reading is when my husband is in the room, and that's what he's watching or doing, and he wants to be with me. So I will zone out and purposely not pay attention. Now, when he's watching those really loud movies that have like war scenes and really, those ones where they're having interrogation or kind of torture, or people are like screaming or having a baby or some of those kind of, I just have to stop and be like, really? So silence is perfect for me. Much prefer that. Number 6, 1 book at a time or several at once. I am definitely a 1 book. Read it through, conquer it, go on to the next one. Every once in a while, I read 2 books, particularly like a nonfiction and a fiction. If they go together, I sometimes will like to read them in sections, but usually I'll pick one or the other and just read them side by side, like finish this one and then compare it to this one. But I will be doing an experiment this month, reading 4 books at once, which I've never done. So we'll see how that goes. Number 7, reading at home or everywhere. Definitely everywhere. I take a book with me no matter what, one in my purse, one in my work bag. Usually that's the same one that I have to switch around, but generally I have an extra if I find myself someplace waiting for a student to pick up, waiting at the doctor's office, waiting at a FedEx, trying to wait on a package or something. Pull out the book, read a couple pages. I'm good. I do that. I mean, sometimes if I know it's going to be a short time, I'll pull out my phone and just scroll my phone, but I really prefer a book. I just think, what would the world be if instead of everybody pulling out their phones all the time, we pulled out a book? I know it wouldn't work. I know it's unrealistic, but I like to dream. I like to think what would happen. I think it would be good. Number 8, reading out loud or silently in your head. I mostly read silently in my head. I think my voice would get tired if I was reading out loud all the time, but I do like to read out loud to my husband, particularly when I'm intentionally wanting to share something. I'll go back and reread something out loud to him. I'll say, oh, listen to this. And he really appreciates that. He's not a reader. He reads on a rare occasion, but really I'm the reader, but then he lets me share with him sometimes. Do you read ahead or even skip pages? If I'm about to DNF a book, I will kind of skip ahead, scan, say, okay, some of those dual timelines or characters, if one character is just so bad, I'll just skip to the next one if I'm about to just totally not finish the book. That's kind of like a final last chance of the book, if you will. But I don't mind totally stopping a book if it's just not going to hold my interest or not be worth my while. There's just too many good books out there, right? But otherwise, I definitely don't skip. I love reading intros and outros and epilogues and even acknowledgments. I kind of scan all the thank you people list, but anything that the author wants to tell me about how they were inspired or why they wrote a book, that just enriches it for me. I love that. Sometimes I end up loving the book more because I understand the heart of where they were going. I go, oh, that totally makes sense. This kind of annoyed me over here, but I see that they were trying to do this, and that makes it really, really great. Number 10, breaking the spine or keeping it like new. I don't intentionally break the spine, but I want to be comfortable reading it, so I'm definitely going to crack it open and read it so it's comfortably all the way open for me to read. But it's not like I'm intentionally cracking it. If it doesn't, if it falls open, it's nice and loose and I can read it, it can stay like new. Number 11, do you write in your books? Sometimes. I have no problem, and I kind of like underlining or circling or putting a little star by something that's really profound, highlighting something that I think is particularly poignant or beautiful that I want to come back to. Obviously, if I'm going to be using a book, like a nonfiction theology book, I'm going to mark it up like crazy because I want to utilize that. So I appreciate getting used books where other people have written in it and marked in it. I just think it's fun that we can share our stories that way. And then it says, who do you tag? So I want to tag 3 people that I'm still getting to know that are newer booktubers. I think it's a fun way I'm always kind of intentionally going through other people's tags and friends lists and all those kind of things, because it's kind of like if you have friends that have friends, you end up liking your friends' friends because obviously you had something in common with your friends, so now you have something in common with your friends' friends. So I am tagging Rachel's Reading Nook, I am tagging Lisa in Bookland, and I am tagging Tanya Willis Anderson, or maybe it's Tanya. Is it Tanya or Tanya? You can leave me a comment below and let me know which way to pronounce your name. Maybe I need to go back and watch you introduce yourself, because I apologize that I don't know. So these are still new, getting to know them, but so far I am having just the best time meeting new people, learning new channels, and we'll suggest them to check out. So hopefully we can learn some of your reading habits. Y'all have a super awesome day. If you have any comments about any of the things that I've said, either you always do that or you never do that, that's cool. It's a wide world, and we can all be a little different, or we can be in partnership together. Y'all have a super awesome day. Happy reading.